Um, so this project about implementing a smart manufacturing curriculum and having more companies adopt smart manufacturing technologies and methodologies started with my role as a regional director for TMAC, which is the local MEP. And in conversation with the industry, were always asking us, what is the next in manufacturing? What is Utep doing in the College of Engineering as it relates to helping us, get on that path? Some companies that were on that path said, okay, how can we train our employees better in a core curriculum that will prepare them, upskill them? So we kind of formalized those discussions through a survey to our manufacturing network, and we asked them some simple questions like, what skills do employees currently have? And they said, for the most part, there is some problem solving skills, they could run machines, equipment, etc., but they lacked in digital skills and some programming, things like that. Follow-up question was, what are the future manufacturing tools that they envisioned? And for the most part, they mentioned things like preventive maintenance is needed, equipment digitization is needed, so on and so forth. So the takeaway here is to know your industry well, try to gather as much information as you can from different viewpoints. So this survey was answered by industry, by workforce development, by economic development. And so we came up with this curriculum that we felt represented the needs of our specific region. So a general introduction, having understanding of data analytics, which is important aspect of implementing Industry 4.0 or smart manufacturing. Many industries asked, okay, we would appreciate data visualization, remote evaluation of our facility. For the most part, we have seen on dashboards in the manufacturing firm where everyone is, but they wanted to make it a little bit more seamless. There were some companies that had augmented virtual reality to augment their worker and rethink how they train their workers. And then equipment digitization or industrial Internet of Things was big. So the curriculum development replicated the needs of the industry for us. And then our goal, we set our goals. So what are the targeted skills we wanted them to achieve? And for the most part, we thought, based on, again, our region, not everybody is into automation or digitization or programming, but our region is a heavy manufacturing, manual assembly type of things, transitioning to more automated type of operations. So we felt the need to have these things. So anybody coming out of our program, we wanted them to have targeted skills. So these could change based on your region and what your curriculum is. And then we kind of made an evaluation of, okay, which jobs is this particular program going to make a dent in, right? Which jobs are going to be updated? So now the quality manager would be a smart QA manager, right? The supply chain analyst is able to now take data and predict, right, the supply chain and things like that. So digital twin, smart factory manager, not just the plant manager anymore, but a smart factory. So this gave us a very good idea of what our program should be, which then led into, okay, what are the important partners then to realize this vision? And we felt, based on the curriculum we chose, we had the Utep and the department, Industrial Manufacturing and Systems Engineering Department, as the most relevant. TMAC as the local MEP was our primary outreach to the industry. The Borderplex Alliance provides economic development incentives for companies to either upgrade their facility, upskill their workforce, or recruit more companies. And then the Workforce Solutions Borderplex is, they have a pool of funds that they can certainly use for upskilling of employees. So that's where this connection of education and economic development and workforce development came into picture, all with a goal of realizing some of these smart manufacturing technology, skills that we are planning to give to not just the incumbent workforce that are wanting to upskill, but also the engineers that we are graduating. So they are going into the workforce with this knowledge and fill that gap. So one thing that we really needed, and we pursued it through the project, is the availability of a smart manufacturing innovation lab. we wanted to have a showcase, and you can see it's a very simple 4-part assembly setup where the robot recognizes the part, recognizes the sequence, assembles them. But I think it gives a really good idea of what, and especially at a rudimentary level for someone that is just trying to understand this helps them understand, what smart manufacturing or Industry 4.0 could be, right? So it assembles, it gathers data, it talks about process, talks about quality, productivity, etc., in a very seamless HMI, right? And then we pursued on just a standalone industrial Internet of Things setup, which allows us to show them the concept of attaching sensors to any of these equipment and gather data in a remote manner and then do some things. So I would encourage, everyone, obviously, they are pursuing this, but this was very critical in us not just developing our courses, but also our buy-in from the industry and having a showcase. So we are we represent an underserved community, Hispanic, and a large majority of our manufacturers are small and medium manufacturers. So it was a really fruitful experience to have this foundational, project set up, if you will. We believe that we have already accelerated some of the adoption. We have, through TMAC, we are doing quite a few projects with the industry now related to preventive maintenance, overall equipment effectiveness, the feasibility of automated guided vehicles in a simulated environment, so factory simulations and so on, so they can really validate their investment a little bit better with knowledge. Obviously, we're going to increase when the program is up and running as of this summer. So we're going to monitor how many people are taking these courses, how many people are, from industry are engaged with us, and so on and so forth. So we are increasing the smart manufacturing educated workforce in our region. For the economic development work for, Borderplex Alliance, when they bring when new companies are interested in relocating to El Paso, they bring us for those meetings, the scouting meetings, where we are able to explain, what is it that we are doing to prepare the future workforce, what are the new courses coming up and so on. So this really ties into that economic development aspect really well. So with this stimulation here, we want to increase a regional supply chain that has embedded smart manufacturing adoption. Either they're implementing it or maybe they're developing products that are going to be used in smart manufacturing environment. I believe that this project, showed how a broader inclusion of MEP centers can assist. Typically, we are very university based, and I think if you all can really bring in the MEP leaders and have a kind of a bridge between the university and the industry would help a lot. There are unique challenges to underserved small medium manufacturers, right? With funding, with lack of technical skills, lack of people that they can send for trainings and whatnot. So, I think developing a plan, I think we have proposed to CESMII that how to maybe have a hybrid model where CESMII can provide value to the region and we can be the boots on the ground approach for smart adoption. So basically, promote more, develop more at a much lower financial threshold. So from CESMII, we got a lot of value as in the delivery of our project. We got a lot of credibility. It was very important for smart manufacturers to know, small medium manufacturers to know who we are working with and what their portfolio is, who are the members and whatnot. So that helped. Peer networking at the smart manufacturing experience was very valuable. We network with a lot of educators working in this area, and me being a junior faculty, and we bring at the start of our journey, I was amazed by how much support was readily provided to us by institutions and entities that are more mature. And to that effect, right, cross-pollination workshops, all that we were attending were very valuable for us in establishing these discussions. In fact, led to some potential visits that we are going to do, which will then guide our strategic investment aspects. So beyond this project, we are going to look for CESMII to really influence some of our small and medium manufacturers who may be hesitant. So they have a lot of use cases that they can educate our manufacturers with. So I'm working with Conrad to have maybe a remote session where we can bring in the manufacturers and they can specifically see the power of CESMII or the Smart Manufacturing Innovation Platform and the value that it brings. We are seeking, additional funding. I think we have a good foundation, but really we want to develop a Smart Manufacturing Innovation Center, which kind of hopefully replicates a smart factory at a much broader level, not just a 4-part assembly. And that is going to help, more buy-in from our manufacturers. We propose, right, a CESMII summit among education and workforce members, because we are in this field and we have unique needs, and it would be good to discuss on curricula and lab infrastructure, how to, when you're resourceful, how to do that, and when you have limited resources, how to still achieve some things there. So for us, the next steps are, as I said, the development of a comprehensive smart manufacturing technology demonstration site. Currently, we have some IoT, we have some automation, but we want to bring in digital twins and cyber security to that particular framework and really realize our vision of a smart factory where, we want to focus on the biomedical industry here. They have recently made a push for automation, and I think they're primed to be candidates where we can collaborate on some of this research and development as it relates to workforce development. We are going to start implementing the Smart Manufacturing Certificate Program that will give us a sense for what type of students are taking it, what their background is. And for those that are not students and don't want to go through the entire 4 courses, right? What if they only want modules? So we are going to discuss with our VP that manages credentialing and see how we could formulate a strategy for approving some micro-credentialing in that aspect. Through this project, we were able to create a regional consortium. Excuse me. So we had some collaborations facilitated by the Borderplex Alliance, and they brought in some companies that provide solutions in IoT, in mechatronics and automation, and in augmented and virtual reality. So along with these companies and Borderplex Alliance and Utep, we were able to create this consortium where we can provide some introductory courses to the industry. So this is going to be specific to the industry itself, because they see companies that are providing solutions already in the fold. And we are working a little closely with the Workforce Solutions Borderplex to seek funding from the Texas Workforce Commission to facilitate that. So the takeaway here is, identify key partners and identify funding sources in your region that facilitate upskilling of workers, so that the burden is shifted from the company, who all they have to do is provide time, for their employees. At least the financial burden is being covered by the funding agency there. This is really important, is increasing industry deployment. So developing use cases in the laboratory is good, but we are going to take those lessons and really work with these companies that were there at the hands-on workshops, that were there at the summit, and ask permission to work with them, so we can put these solutions in the real world environment and see how far we can get with its actual benefit and so on.